Hey, it's Kelly. Welcome back to my channel where we talk all about gentle skincare, sometimes self-care, and today we're talking affordable dupes for expensive products. Episode 3, Dupes 3, the dupening, my summer blockbuster series. You guys have really been enjoying this series where I talk about really expensive products and some affordable alternatives. And today I am really excited to be bringing you some affordable alternatives for Tatcha, for Biossance, and Peach and Lily. So if you are so ready to dive into episode 3, give the video a big thumbs up and let's jump in. So first up, the expensive product. This is Tatcha Dewy Cream. This retails for $70 and you get a 50 milliliter jar. Now this was highly requested to be covered in the Dupes series, and I'm really excited to dive in because I totally get why this is so beloved. It is such a luscious and luxy type of moisturizer. You know, Tatcha is claiming that this is providing a lot of rich hydration and moisture for the skin, that it's antioxidant packed using purple Japanese rice, and that it is going to give your skin a really healthy, dewy glow. Those are the claims of the product. Now, Tatcha is a brand that's focused on the heritage and tradition of Japanese beauty practices. So you're going to see some of your favorite Asian beauty ingredients here in the list as well. So ginseng is in here as well as green tea, which really help to support the antioxidant claims of this moisturizer, as well as some of the brightening claims as well. Now, other ingredients include red algae extract. Now, this is a really interesting ingredient because it is a great hydrating, but also slightly moisturizing ingredient. And it is also a great antioxidant. What red algae is really good at in skincare is kind of helping to hug hydration and moisture into the skin. It actually creates a little bit of a film on the skin. I know that doesn't sound good, but it does create this little bit of a hug it in type of quality, and that is something that I think is really unique to this cream. There's actually a lot of other film forming agents within the ingredients list that really adds the occlusivity of this cream, its ability to really hug everything in without making this an extremely heavy or rich type of moisturizer. We do also have denatured alcohol, artificial fragrance, and 2 fragrant compounds in here, limonene and linalool. Now, I was really surprised to see these ingredients in here because the scent of this cream is so light. You know, if you didn't see those ingredients, you might not even think that there was any fragrance in here. The scent is so subtle. You'll smell a tiny bit on application, and you really got to kind of get in there to smell it. And really what I'm getting off of this is just a very subtle floral scent, and maybe a hit of like a citrusy orange, but it's a very light smell. So I would describe this texture as a light, fluffy lavender marshmallow. I totally understand why so many people love this because the texture is so incredibly appealing. I mean, this is really fluffy. It's this beautiful light purple color, and it is so silky. It's so rich. It's not heavy. It is not greasy. It has a richness to it, but it doesn't have like this overwhelming feel to it. It doesn't have an oil type of feel to it. It's not even overly buttery necessarily, but it's just so fluffy, so rich, so moisturizing, and this just melts into the skin. And it definitely feels on the lighter medium side. This is not a hefty cream, but it just melts in the skin and it leaves your skin so conditioned, so soft on top. It is incredibly appealing. So my take on this product is fairly positive, honestly. I didn't really know what to expect with this, but like the texture is so fun, absolutely, really spectacular. But I have to say, as somebody who's been into Asian beauty for so long, the ingredients themselves are fairly common to me. Nothing that really blows my mind. They're all fantastic ingredients, but as far as availability in less expensive products, there's so many out there where you can get these wonderful extracts, right? So nothing there really stood out to me. The fact that the smell is so incredibly subtle, I think is great, but it does make me question, why do we have to use artificial fragrance and the fragrant compounds, which do have that high potential for irritation? I have to say this cream makes me very itchy. My skin does not like those fragrant compounds. compounds because they are so concentrated and they are derived from essential oils. So they just tend to be very potent. The irritants tend to be very potent on my skin, and this makes my skin very itchy, unfortunately. The texture is so lovely. I want to like play with it. I want to love it. My skin cannot accept this. So my affordable alternative is the Versed Skin Soak Rich Moisture Cream. This retails $18 for a 43 milliliter jar. Now, Versed claims that this is a really rich moisturizer that's not greasy, and this is what they claim to be what you need to use when your basic moisturizer is just not cutting it. So they're really promising a lot of moisture without a lot of weight and a lot of greasiness on the skin. Now, ingredient deep dive here is going to look very different from Tatcha, I have to admit. This formulation does not contain those Asian beauty extracts that Tatcha has, but if you've been watching my channel, you're very familiar with green tea, with rice, with ginseng, and you know that those are ingredients you can absolutely get in all kinds of K-beauty and J-beauty products, in serums, in toners, in all different types of products. So while I haven't duplicated that experience with the ingredients, some of the key ingredients here are actually exactly the same, and those key ingredients are like glycerin, sodium hyaluronate, which is going to give that kind of hydrating, lighter quality to the moisturizer. And then we also have Squalane, which I didn't call out but is in the Tatcha moisturizer. And then the other key ingredient here, that red algae extract. The algae here, it's a slightly different variation of algae, but it's still bringing in that moisturizing property with that ability to help hug in hydration and moisture. So the texture, it is fluffy, it is silky, it is rich. It is definitely a fluffy marshmallow. You know, when I think about the Tatcha cream, that is really what I wanted to duplicate. That's what I think really makes that cream stand out. It's unique and special, is that texture. And I think Versed is coming really close with it. I did notice that this fluffy, light texture actually has a little bit more hydration, which I appreciate. You get this burst of hydration, and then you get this burst of this rich moisture that is not greasy. You know, they really do live up to that claim. It is not greasy at all, but it really does condition and soften and moisturize and soothe and comfort the skin. And something else that's really different here is that this does not have that full-on film forming feel that Tatcha has. I have to say, as much as I love the texture of Tatcha and I do appreciate occlusivity in my skincare, I do feel like there's a fine line with occlusivity and film forming agents where it can feel really good until it doesn't. You know what I'm saying? That line is actually going to be different depending on your skin type, and Tatcha is really approaching a full on that felt very cloying to my skin. It felt a little thick, almost a little plasticky even, and I didn't love the finish of how that felt on my skin. And remember, this is individual, really based on skin type. And so for me, that was the one thing that just sort of slightly threw me off. Everything else about it was amazing, but that slightly threw me off. So with Versed, you don't have as much of that happening. There's a little occlusivity to it. It's very light. Remember that algae extract really helps to hug things in. But with Tatcha, where we had like 3 to 4 film forming agents, we have like 1 happening here in Versed. That's really the difference. Next, the expensive Peach and Lily Glass Skin Refining Serum. This retails $39 for 40 milliliter of product. And really what this claims to give you is crystal clear skin, glass skin. And so when they say clear skin, they're not necessarily talking about clearing acne. And so glass skin or crystal clear skin is about being very bright. It's about being very luminescent, healthy, lit from within. And of course, it is definitely about having a kind of a dewy, sort of a shiny look to the skin. It shines with health. That's really where the claims lie with glass skin and this serum. And they're claiming that that their ingredient mix here is what's, the magic. They're using peach extract, niacinamide, they're using yam extract and hyaluronic acid, madecassoside, and peptides to achieve that crystal clear skin. So I've given quite a, brief rundown on the main ingredients, especially that peach and lily is claiming doing the heavy lifting here, but honestly, I really want to focus in on niacinamide. I don't know the percentage for sure. I'm guessing we're within the 2% range, which is actually really effective for brightening the skin. And so I think the niacinamide is doing a lot of that heavy lifting to give us some of that luminescent, like not dull, very healthy, vibrant complexion. Niacinamide's doing a lot of work here. Now, madecassoside is one of the active compounds in the Centella plant that is really amazing for soothing the skin, but it's great for anti-inflammation. So if you have some redness on your skin, that can definitely interfere with your skin's ability to shine, right? And so the madecassoside, if you do have redness or even breakouts, that's going to help to gently soothe that and help to lessen the redness on your skin, contributing to that brighter complexion. Now, they do also claim to have peptides in this product, peptides plural, and there's actually only one peptide in the current formulation here, and that is a peptide called SNAP8 or acetyl octapeptide 3. Now, this is basically the next generation of acetylhexapeptide 8, which is one of the Botox peptides. So this is like a bigger, better, faster version of that. And so basically what this peptide does is it helps to firm and lift the skin. And it works similar to Botox because it helps to target facial movement on the skin. But I think what's always important to know about this peptide is it will give results. It's definitely something that works, and it will work fast on the skin, but it is something that does not stimulate collagen, meaning that if you continue to use this peptide, you will have that firm lifted skin. Once you stop, those effects will go away. Nothing meaningfully has been changed with the structure of your skin, with the protein structure and the collagen. So it's all very temporary, much like Botox, right? So I'm not saying that that's bad, but I think it's always important to know what you're getting into. And so this is something that can help give you some fast, quick results, but it should always be used alongside other peptides and other collagen stimulating ingredients if you're really looking for some meaningful changes with fine lines and wrinkles. So the texture is a gel type of texture. It has a nice amount of hydration. It's not like a deeply hydrating or like a burst of hydration. There's a little amount here. And I have to say, even though it's not like a deeply hydrating type of product, I don't feel like this absorbs very well. I feel like it stays wet on my skin a little bit longer than some of my other serums do. It just isn't really penetrating into my skin quite as well. And it does take a long time to dry down. And while it is in that kind of semi-wet state, it's quite tacky. Once it is dry, it does dry matte. I thought that a glass skin serum was going to give me really, really shiny skin. It doesn't actually have a high gloss finish to it, which is fine, but that was something I was I was just thinking it was going to be completely different, I guess. So my opinion of this, the texture you can tell is kind of a meh for me, but also the results of this kind of are a meh for me as well. So all I'm saying is I understand why people may like this, but I also see why people don't like this. And this can be a really you either love it or hate it type of product. But on the whole, I don't find it super impressive. And I think that if the formula like this intrigues you, you can actually find this for a lot less money. So my affordable alternative is the Skin 1004 Hyalu-Cica Blue Serum. This retails between $14 to $22 with 2 different sizes available, 30 milliliter of product or 50 milliliter of product. And I just want to say Hyalu-Cica Blue is definitely going to be the name of my country album. I love saying this, Hyalu-Cica Blue. Now, Skin 1004 is claiming that this is a highly hydrating product that also helps to soothe and brighten your skin. So one of the main ingredients here is niacinamide. Skin 1004 has revealed that there is 3% of niacinamide in this serum. So we're well within the range for effective brightening, but we're also well within the range for effective barrier care as well. Niacinamide can help with the synthesis of our skin's ceramides, cholesterol, and fatty acids, which help to fortify our skin barrier. Now, when your skin barrier is not healthy, I know I always say it, but I like to remind you, if your skin barrier is not healthy, you're complexion is not gonna glow, period, the end. You will have dull looking skin. Of course we have Centella. That's really the name of the game when it comes to this brand. Skin 1004 loves Centella in everything. So we're getting that soothing anti-inflammation benefit from Centella. We've got 3 different forms of hyaluronic acid in here, along with other humectants too, to really deliver that deep hydration. Hyaluronic acid is also like a plumping ingredient, and that can really help too if we're thinking about maybe firming up the skin slightly or just making it a little bit more plump. Hyaluronic acid is an ingredient that can do it. Now, we don't have a peptide here, and that might be a controversial thing for people, like, hey, that's not an exact dupe, right, with the formula. I know. I really wanted to pick this one because there's so many other elements that align with Peach and Lily. With Snap 8, with that Botox-like peptide, I don't find that to be a super meaningful addition to the serum, quite honestly. We don't have collagen stimulating peptides in there. We can definitely include peptides in other places in our routine if we really wanted to. You could actually get something from the, like a peptide serum from The Ordinary. You could use this and you still would probably save a couple of bucks than if you had bought Peach and Lily. That's where my thinking is with this one. Texture wise, we're in a similar place too, but we're in a much more pleasing place too. This is a very light gel textured serum that legit bursts into hydration on your skin. It feels so refreshing. It feels so good. And I love when products can dive a little deeper with the hydration. That's how this feels. It doesn't just sit like water on top of your skin. It gets down in there, and it does have that nice light plumping action that I also love, because I love bouncy skin, and this is something that can really deliver it, but it's just delivering it in the much lighter, refreshing package. Super hydrating, really good absorption here. No stickiness, no tackiness. Both of these serums, the benefits that they're going to deliver to the skin, just ingredients wise, are on the more subtle end of things, right? These are not heavy hitting, brightening types of products. These are not going to really target hyperpigmentation on the skin. But if you are dealing with an unevenness in the complexion, I have noticed that like the Hyalu-Cica does have that little like enhancement. Like after a couple of weeks, you're like, hey, I think my skin does just look a little healthier. I think it does look a little bit brighter. It's that type of serum. Even Peach and Lily is that type of serum. I just think Hyalu-Cica does it better. So next up, the expensive product, Biossance Omega Repair Cream. This retails $60 for a 50 milliliter jar. Now what this is a rich and decadent moisturizing cream. That's what Biossance says, rich and decadent. And it is a cream that is full of all those good fatty acids for your skin. That's where the omega name is coming from, because they're really focusing in on omega-3, 6, and 9 fatty acids to help strengthen your skin barrier. And you know, that's a very intriguing claim to me because, like I said, I'm all about barrier care. And when you dive into the ingredients, this cream, like, it walks the walk, you know, it talks the talk. The claims and the ingredients actually line up really nicely here. So we do have ceramide NP, and then we have plant sterols. Plant sterols are actually, they act like cholesterol, and our skin accepts it like cholesterol too. So that's one of the main building blocks of our skin barrier, along with ceramides and fatty acids. And so while you're not going to notice the word cholesterol on the list, rest assured that you're getting that nice balance of that holy trinity of ingredients with plant sterols. And then we do have omega-3, 9, and 6 fatty acids added right in here on the ingredients list. And what I notice a lot, and we'll dive into this a little bit deeper, I notice a lot of times the fatty acid content comes from other ingredients like plant oils usually, but the fatty acids here are actually just directly added into the cream. So the texture, we've got another fluffy type of texture. We've got another rich and moisturizing cream that's not heavy. This is similar to the Tatcha and Versed battle that we talked about at the top of the video. It's a little bit lighter. I don't think it packs as much moisture maybe, but it actually feels so silky, so good, so comforting, so soothing on the skin. I love how this feels with that fluffy texture. Can't get enough of it. What is unique about this cream? Zero occlusivity. There is no seal-it-in quality in here at all. Love the ingredients of this. I love the texture. the lack of occlusivity actually just makes this not a good fit for me. So otherwise though, you know, in a lot of the dupes, when I talk about the expensive product, there's always just something off about it. The occlusivity thing aside, I really like this product. I just don't like the price. I think it's a little bit much for a moisturizer. But I have to say, everything that they claim, they achieved in this product. There's very little to complain about except for the price. So my affordable alternative is the Skin 1004 Probio-Cica Enrich Cream. This retails $25 for a 50 milliliter jar. Now this actually has a really similar point of view as Biossance. They're just doing it in a different way. So Skin 1004 is really focusing in on the health of your skin barrier and your skin microbiome all at the same time. And so the way that they're going about that is with fermented Centella. Now, Centella is, as I mentioned earlier, Skin 104 really focuses in on Centella, which is a great anti-inflammation, soothing type of ingredient. It's an antioxidant. It's really wonderful for the skin. They fermented it, which means it really supercharges the Centella. It means the Centella is probably going to be more soothing, that it's going to have more of its antioxidant benefits, more of the anti-inflammatory benefits. And it also, when you ferment an ingredient, it opens up and unlocks a lot more what I call nutrition for the skin, vitamins and minerals and amino acids. It's just overall a really good thing for a skincare ingredient and for a skincare product, in my personal opinion. But then we've got those other barrier supportive and barrier building ingredients in here too. So we have niacinamide, which we've talked about already, helps with the skin barrier. Ceramide NP, phytosphingosine. This also is using plant sterols for that kind of cholesterol element to the product. And then we've got fatty acid content. As I mentioned, fatty acids can kind of come in a couple of different ways into your products. They can come straight as fatty acids, or they can be a component of plant oils. And that's really what they're doing here, is they're using moringa and macadamia seed oils to really give you a high content truly of omega-9 fatty acid, a little bit omega-6 too, but really focusing in on omega-9 fatty acid with those particular oils. Now this texture is also that fluffy, marshmallowy type of texture. This actually looks a lot thicker when you first get it out of the jar than it actually feels and performs on the skin. It actually just like melts as into the skin, and it actually melts down into a much lighter layer than it first appears. So this one's a little bit tricky, but it's rich, it's silky, it's moisturizing, it's not heavy, surprisingly, right? Because it just really melts down into a much lighter layer on the skin, but it really does a good amount of moisturization. And there's just enough occlusivity. It's not a super occlusive. It's not like a film, like super film forming type of moisturizer. It's just enough occlusivity that helps to fight the dehydration, that just kind of helps to hug the rest of the skincare in. And so I think that this just texture wise and performance wise, just as a moisturizer, you know, let's take the other ingredients out of it. Let's just talk about moisturizing the skin and performing as a final layer. I think Skin 104 just kind of does it a little bit better. That's just my point of view, you know, just my opinion. Everybody is different, but I just like how this performs for me personally a little bit better while still delivering so many of those similar qualities. Texture and experience is so important. These are so neck and neck when it comes to that texture. And the ingredients, while they are approaching the barrier care in a different way, they are still, you know, they're still fulfilling that. And I think that they are both achieving that just in different ways. And so I think you're still getting a lot of those same qualities. If you're on a budget, I think that this is still going to achieve that for you at a much lower cost. So I hope you loved Dupes 3. And if you want to see Dupes 4, let me know in the comments and let me know what expensive products you need dupes for. Because if you keep requesting them, I'll keep making the videos with the affordable alternatives. Now, if you love this video and it helped you out, maybe it saved you some money, please, I would be so honored if you would hit subscribe before you go. I release a lot of new skincare content throughout the week. I do long form videos, I do shorts. I'm very active here on YouTube, so definitely turn on notifications so you're never out of the loop. I love you so much. Thanks for being here with me today. I really hope that you are healthy, happy, and safe, and I'll talk to you in the next video. Bye.